We've had tons of other agencies come to us and say, we're driving tons of traffic to their platform. However, they're not converting, right? We're having tons of people drop out of the sales funnel once they get to the checkout page, right? That's when you need an expert developer to come in and identify what can be done from a technology standpoint to streamline that process and increase their conversions.
Hello everybody, welcome to Search. This week we will talk about why you should work with a development team if you're a marketing agency. Now Joe, we work with a few marketing agencies out there, and one of the main reasons that marketing agencies or even PR agencies and business coaches and consultants, they reach out to us is because they are not able to figure out the technical elements or the technical requirements for different projects or implementations, and they need a partner like Optimum 7. So what I would like to do is organize this because there's so much, or there are so many ways this conversation could go. Let's talk about first marketing agencies and PR agencies. What is the challenge for marketing agencies out there? You know, if you're a marketing agency, you might be offering search engine optimization as a service. You might be offering social media. You might be offering paid search. If you're doing any kind of PR, again, you're offering paid placements, or you're offering specific media publications, or even perhaps TV to feature your clients on a TV program or TV on different TV stations. What are the challenges for marketing agencies when it comes to technical development work?
Yeah, so they're going to run into multiple challenges, and it varies based off of what executions they're running for that client, right? So let's say you're running SEO for a client of yours. One aspect of SEO that's extremely important is now site speed, right? However, you might not have a developer that knows how to go into the code and compress the CSS, defer JavaScript, compressing the JavaScript, optimizing all of the images at scale. And so these are the issues, just one of the issues that a lot of marketing agencies run into when they don't have a partnership with a development agency. And that's just one example of the SEO. Another example could be if you're running any type of paid campaigns across multiple channels, are you tracking all of that information properly? Are your pixels firing properly? Do you have tag managers set up, and is the code set up the way that it should be? And so there, again, like you said, we can go 100 different ways, but these are just a few of the many challenges that we've had agencies come to us with.
Yeah. So again, as Joe explained, the most essential thing here is for the work to get done. Now, and Joe knows this, maybe 10, 15, or even up to 7, 8 years ago, technical elements were not as strong and they were not integrated. Nowadays, if you want to do Facebook ads for a client of yours, you have to make sure the code is implemented properly, Facebook Pixels is implemented, the conversions are defined, your analytics are set up. If you're dealing with a B2B client, you have to make sure that the offline conversions are tracked, the phone calls are tracked with dynamic insertion or whatever technology you're using, or maybe different session IDs. So it becomes difficult. Now, Joe, all of that is fine. If you are an SEO agency, you need to be able to do technical implementations. You need to pay attention to page speed, etc., etc. And we can speak for hours on this. So if I'm an SEO agency or a paid search agency or a social media agency doing ads for my clients, and I don't have a technical team, and I don't have programmers, and I don't have back-end and front-end engineers, and I don't have QA engineers and business analysts, etc., etc., why would I give my work to Optimum 7? Why would I partner with Optimum 7? Why wouldn't I just build my own department? Why wouldn't I hire my own programmer or my back-end developer?
Absolutely. So the hiring process for a developer is extremely tedious. That's number one. In order for you to find the right developer that can actually do what they say they can do is very difficult. And it might take you anywhere between 6 months, 12 months, maybe up to 18 months to actually find an individual that's capable of doing that. And then at the end of the day, you still need to test them out and vet them out. You're still unsure of their capabilities. However, partnering with an agency that's well established, that has a track record, that you can easily see, it's an easy decision that you know you're going to get the quality and performance that you're looking for right off the bat. Right? There's no trial and error at this moment in time. And especially dealing with a client that you have, let's say it's a long-standing client that you've had and you have a great relationship with them, you don't want to tarnish that relationship by risking it with an outsourced developer or a freelance developer to try to get some work done. Right? You definitely want to go with quality work.
Yeah, and we've seen this happen multiple times. Nowadays, again, things are becoming very technical. They're becoming very integrated. We've had prospects reach out to us, agencies who've said, well, I had a client ask me about this technical work with Shopify Plus. They wanted to update something on the checkout of Shopify Plus. I found this guy on Upwork, and he broke the Shopify Plus code. He broke the checkout. He deleted some stuff by mistake. And what you're jeopardizing there is this agency is being sued right now by the client because the client was down, the checkout was down for a few days, and they lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So do you really want to, as an agency, do you really want to jeopardize that? Anybody could go to Upwork and find somebody for $10, $15, $20, $30 per hour. However, what does that do for your reputation? What does that do for the quality of work? There is a reason that as Optimum 7, we bill $200 an hour. Because the $200 an hour does not only include the $20, $30, $40 an hour for development work, it includes the QA, the quality assurance, it includes the business analyst, it includes the project manager, project director, it includes the project coordinator who's going to look at the resources. So what Joe is basically saying is you can't do development with just one programmer. Furthermore, programmers are a different breed of individuals. One programmer, if it's a talented programmer, is not going to want to work as the only programmer in the company because he's aware that everything is going to come back to him. All the single requests, and programmers, they don't want to do design, right? So if you're not aware of the structure of a development team, you're going to burn your people out even if you try to build that department. Now, unless you have around, I would say, and Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, $300,000 a year to build this department at the minimum, don't even attempt to build this department. And are you a developer or are you code savvy yourself? Because you got to have your own onboarding processes to basically, as Joe stated, to vet these individuals and make sure that they know what they're talking about. They know what they say they know. Let's talk about the benefits of hiring a company like Optimum 7. For this process. Now, just recently, maybe a few weeks ago, we received a project. It was a sizable project. It was a nice project. And this individual, this prospect was looking for specific marketing executions, which we do, but it's coming from an agency. So when we get referred business from an agency, we don't touch the marketing part. However, they also wanted a very custom marketplace implementation, and we were the ones who actually quoted that. Now, during this process, and Joe, you were involved with that process, there is something that happens when you get sales engineers like Optimum 7 on the phone. It basically builds authority. Talk to us about that. Why would getting Optimum 7 on a phone call with a prospect increase the odds of you actually closing that sale?
So it's very difficult to sell a service that you've never done before, or you really don't know the details involved. At Optimum 7, we've obviously closed hundreds of these development projects. So we know what we're doing. We know how to close those deals because, again, we know what the project needs from start to finish. And we establish that authority on that conversation.
Yeah. So when you involve Optimum 7 staff as sales engineers, you build that authority that Joe is referring to. And building that authority means that the prospect feels more confident, not only about your marketing capabilities, regardless of it being SEO, paid search, social, or PR, they are also saying, well, this company brought this development team, and these guys know what they're talking about. This is not only about marketing or development or back-end or front development. This is also about business application, right? At Optimum 7, we know business application of actual functionality and how it's going to work in the real world. So this is why the odds of you closing that sale from a prospect or a client that is asking for something technical is a lot higher if you involve sales engineers like Optimum 7, because we've done this hundreds of times before. Now, how does this relationship look like, Joe? When we are partnering with agencies out there, marketing agencies, and I divide marketing into three aspects: SEO, social, and paid. Or PR agencies, or even business coaches. We work with some business coaches. So how does that relationship look like?
So first things first, we sign an NDA, and then we have a conversation. And basically, how do we want to work together? We get a better understanding of how you guys operate. We let you guys know how we operate. And then again, we come to an agreement. If you want to white label us 100%, we have no problem with that. If you want to be a little bit more transparent and open us up to your client, again, no problem with that either. At the end of the day, what we're trying to achieve is a mutually beneficial relationship.
And Joe says mutually beneficial relationship. I actually have a terminology. I like the win-win-win, right? It's a win for Optimum 7. It's a win for your agency or for your business, and it's a win for your client or for your prospect, because everybody's getting value out of a relationship such as this one.
As marketers, we know that SEO, PR, paid isn't enough anymore, right? Getting individuals to go to a site or to drive traffic isn't enough anymore. When it comes to marketing, you need to be looking at the bottom line. That's when conversion rate optimization comes into play. And we've had tons of other agencies come to us and say, we're driving tons of traffic to their platform. However, they're not converting, right? We're having tons of people drop out of the sales funnel once they get to the checkout page, right? That's when you need an expert developer to come in and identify what can be done from a technology standpoint to streamline that process and increase their conversions. So that's another huge benefit that we offer to a lot of marketing agencies that have had success on the traffic end, but have kind of come up short on the conversion and revenue side.
Yep, that's a great point as well. Again, this needs to be a good relationship for everybody. At Optimum 7, we know how this integration between the technical side of things, as well as the marketing and as well as the PR, and also the business coaching side of things work. We've worked with multiple partners before in the same manner that we're explaining to you. That's it for this week. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'll talk to you next week.